Good day, gentlemen. Thank you for joining me at the Emperor's Club. Book 3, Checkmate. We're on Chapter 9, Seed Time and Harvest. Oh, gents, the sun is coming out. I got to go home and get over this. I have on this, my sweatsuit, jacket. I have on a sweater, another shirt, and a t-shirt. So I got to get out of the sun so I don't sweat to death. Go on the beach. Yesterday I went on the beach. The water's freezing cold. Maybe that's what did it. And anywho, I'm not going in the water. I got to get my breathing right. I clear my chest up. I already took some stuff for it, some medicine for it, and about 4 oranges. Anyway, back to the lesson at hand, seed time and harvest. I learned this lesson from Creflo Dollar. I always knew it, but I love how Creflo Dollar, when he said it, it become cemented in my mind. He said that seed time and harvest will always be with us. And he was talking about how to get yourself out of any situation. Mainly, Creflo Dollar always talking about money. But you can still apply that to the rest of your life. Seed time and harvest. Now, the basis of this for me came from Solomon when he spoke about there's a time for everything. When Creflo Dollar did the sermon or the series on seed time and harvest, I realized even though there's a time for everything, there's the right season for everything. And Creflo Dollar explained it. Like now, which is interesting, is about almost time for spring. It's the 14th, I think, 13 or 14. Spring is about to happen. And I'm growing pomegranate trees. I just planted about 10 seedlings. Because pomegranates here cost $5. That's ridiculous. But maybe I'm spoiled, because when I went to Philadelphia, I was able to get them for $1. Now, granted, they were smaller than the ones we get here. They were much bigger. But from $1 to $5, I said to myself, I'm going to grow my own. That's the same thing I did with papayas. My papaya tree is like 10 feet tall now. But anyway, see, now I can reap papayas because I sowed papayas about a year ago. So they're growing. There are fruits on the tree. I'm not going to count it, say how much, because my neighbor said that's bad luck. But I employed what Creflo Dollar taught about seed time and harvest. Last April, I planted my papayas. I tried pomegranates, but I realized I did something wrong. I figured what I did wrong, corrected it. I'm about to seed 10, 15 papaya trees. Not papaya, pomegranate. Because pomegranates are very good for you, gentlemen, especially for your heart and your blood. You're going to need that. So since it's so good, I'm not spending $5 on it at the food store when I can grow it myself. And this is why husbandry was in the Emperor's Club. Anyway, let's go seed time and harvest. Now, you know there's a time for everything, and you know that seed time and harvest is always with us. So you have got to know what season you're in. That's very important. You have to know what season you're in, because it don't make sense planting seeds in winter. That's the resting season. Spring is the growing season, the beginning. So that's when you plant your seeds, in spring. Just as it applies to agriculture, you can apply it to every aspect of your life. There's a time for you to work and a time for you to sit down and rest. So when you should be resting, you should not be planting. And when you should be planting, you should not be resting. I just said it. I'm looking at my notes. All right. For seed time and harvest to be maximized, one must study the seasons and act accordingly. Now, I was in tune with this because I would have to go and buy the farmer's almanac for my grandmother and aunt because they had a farm. And they would ask me to go and buy it. because I live in the bookstore. So whenever I go, I always look out for it. And to the point where the bookstore owner would hold two for me. And this when I was a young man. So one day I decided to read the Farmer's Almanac. That is a treasure trove of wisdom, gentlemen. Please make you know what, I gotta buy one. I go to the food store, the bookstore right after this, a little small shop, and see if they have a Farmer's Almanac. Make that your business to get a Farmer's Almanac and to read it. Anyway, by reading the Almanac, what Creflo Dollar said made, I won't say it made sense. It did make sense, but, excuse me, I heard to say, it just became more solid, more real, like more tangible. Certain plants are to be planted at certain times. So even though spring is here, there's certain plants you don't plant exactly when spring starts. You have to know this. And this is why I said you have to study the seasons thoroughly and then apply seed time and harvest accordingly. And then I learned that some plants are not to be planted during the new moon. I've experienced some plants, if you plant them during the new moon, they grow faster, and others they don't grow at all or slowly, because there's some plants that grow better with the new moon or better with the full moon. That's why you must study, so that you can understand the seasons, so that you can properly apply the law of seed time and harvest. Hold on. Oh, I thought it was a bee. I mean, I'm not allergic to bees like how I was before. No, now. I mean, the only place the bee could sting me is on my hand or my face. The last thing they had the bee to do is sting me on my neck. The last time that happened, it caused my throat to close up. Luckily, a teacher put a straw down my throat. So this day I kill bees, but not anymore, because that's another hustle I plan to get into. Yeah, I'm growing beehives, but that's just a scarab. Now, if you study esoteric wisdom, that's serious business. That scarab showed up. Something called synchronicity. We may get into that, gentlemen. All right. See times another. Okay, now, it was fascinating how even seed time and harvest, even though Creflo Dollar introduced me to it, Miyamoto Musashi spoke about seed time and harvest, but in a different way. Now, in the Book of Five Rings, Miyamoto Musashi said that in life there's rhythm. There's rhythm to everything. And not only that, there's rhythm for victory and a rhythm for failure. And he said that you are to discern the two, and you avoid the rhythm that brings failure and cling to the rhythm that brings victory. That's basically the same thing Creflo Dollar was saying. And that's the reality of life. You've got to know what season you're in, what can be done in that season, and you act accordingly. To do the opposite brings failure, which would be stupid. That's what my cousin says when he's angry. He knows the word is stupid, but if he's angry, he calls you stupid. To know the right thing and don't do it, I'm sorry, you're a complete idiot. Just rhythm, gentlemen. You have to obey the rules of rhythm. Seed time and harvest will always be with us, so you might as well learn it and take advantage of it. All right. Goodness, I'm ahead of myself for winter. Well, good God, gentlemen, that's it. I'm ahead of myself. That's a good thing. I thought this would take longer. So, gentlemen, that's good for you because you don't have to look in my face any longer. Thank you for joining me in Checkmate, Chapter 9, Seed Time and Harvest. I will see you in Chapter 10, Focus. After Focus, I'm going home to get a disclose to go bathe in the sun. All right, goodbye.